Hello everyone, it is me again, Penguin21, and today, well, looks like it's that time again. I know I said that there would be only one video this week because I got lazy and there was just no video topic to cover. Guess what? The universe was like, hey, you want a video topic? Here you go. And the video just happens to fall into my lap. God, I love the universe sometimes. So, what happened this week? Well, on Twitter, there was a great explosion. Big surprise there. But this explosion, caused in the gaming sphere specifically, was because the FTC lost the actual case against Microsoft, as reported by literally everyone and their goldfish at this point. But I will put up the Dextero tweet just so you guys can look it up yourself. So, yeah, but there is talks of them appealing the case, obviously, because they lost and they're a little bit salty about it, but whatever. As of right now, the FTC and even the judges involved in there have done a lot of things there. And, well, there's a lot of tweets and things that I wanted to clip and talk about, but we get into ahead of ourselves because we want to talk about one video in particular, one person who came down from the heavens to bless us with his major big brain take, and that is Reforge Gaming. Now, of course, MSMBG also did have a 5-hour live stream, apparently. Both of these things come from the source Astro Cyborg, by the way, on Twitter. You're doing some God's work right there, and thank you for the clips. Obviously, I'm going to give you credit on that, because, I mean, you're doing some really good work out there. I couldn't be able to find some of these stuff, so thank you so much. I will probably link your Twitter handle down in the description below, if I remember to do so. If not, just pin it in the just comment on this video. I'll pin it, so don't worry about that. In any case, let's look at these two videos. It's one long clip, so there's going to be a little bit of weird editing for future me to kind of deal with, but it's one big long clip, and we're going to look at the whole thing here today.
I find the rampant celebration and the maliciousness from the gaming public about this to be pretty telling. For many people, this is a personal fight, which I find a little disturbing and strange. Telling people to cry more or hold the L because they think the deal, I might think the deal's a bad idea. There's other people who think that the deal is a bad idea, and, telling us to cry more and hold the L, it's just bizarre. And here's why it's bizarre. In one breath, the public is told all these games are going to stay on PlayStation. Or another thing the public is continually told, well, this is great for consumers, okay? Then what exactly is the L here? What exactly did you win? What did PlayStation fans lose?
I mean, he does have a point. PlayStation fans didn't lose much, except their sanity. And them being unable to, share their video games. And now saying that Xbox doesn't have any games anymore. Also, by the way, J-Dub now said that they actually bought some games. And also, he had the tweet that said it. I'll put it up on screen now. There was also the point of where he had a pinned tweet of where he wants Microsoft to fail, even though he also said in a different tweet that he said that he wanted Microsoft to win, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. Hypocrisy all around. But, okay. What exactly is lost here? Not much, except the moral battle of the console wars, which you really shouldn't concern yourself with if you're not, if you don't care. And if you didn't care, you wouldn't make the statement or really make the video in the general. That's the same thing that I say all the time. I mean, I care enough to make a video on this. I care enough to give credit to where credit is due. But again, we move on.
PlayStation fans lose. A bunch of games already coming to the market are now going to land on Game Pass, maybe as early as 2025, but they're also coming to PlayStation, right? That's the argument. It's continually argued that they're going to keep coming to PlayStation and that this is good for consumers. So your big win is that you're going to get to save $60 or $70 every once in a while, starting in 2025 if all goes according to plan. So in 2 years, you can start playing more games without buying them. Games already in production. Games already coming to the market. I can't help but think that this is a loss for...
How? No, seriously. How did people get duped? That sounds like a great deal to me. I mean, in all honesty, it just makes the most amount of sense. If you really think that just because you, in turn, don't think that it's a good idea that this stuff comes to the platform, then don't buy it on that platform. Just as simple as that. If you want to support the developers by buying the game outright, go right ahead and do so. If you don't want to, or you think that you could save some money and probably put that money towards something else to actually live because you can't really afford much, then do it. I am always one for options. Options is practically never a bad thing. It really isn't. If you're upset and saying that this is a loss for some reason or another, for like PlayStation or something, you might be a little bit of a fanboy. I mean, in all honesty, I'd say that it was a loss anyway. Does that make me a fanboy? Hard to say. But I'll say this. I think it's the context of which this is important. People saying hold the L and stuff like that. It's because it's memes and trolling. A little bit of casual funniness on the internet.
Loss for everyone, and you got duped. You got tricked into thinking that that's the real victory that matters. Microsoft could have invested half of the $69 billion into better tech. They could have been ruthlessly aggressive with the Series X on price and power. They could have undercut Sony on price and really gave us true power instead of what they did with the Series S. They could have brought strong first-party presence to the market this generation. But instead, they gave Series X owners a pile of broken promises and broken commitments, and if the deal goes through, a whole swath of studios will now have to prioritize the Series S for all their games coming out. That's a loss for anyone who doesn't own a Series S. That's a lot of games that now have to appeal to the weakest box in the market.
No, not really. I mean, in all honesty, it will actually make it a little bit better because they will have better optimization for higher-end hardware. If it's optimized really good for the low end, that thing will upscale amazingly if you know what you're doing. And again, Microsoft is pretty competent in that. Maybe not the most competent, but they are more competent than Sony, who thinks that, we can only work on one platform, and therefore we can only make a game for one platform. I mean, again, whenever I hear Sony being the best developers, they make the best, most high-quality games and stuff like that, and it would be irrelevant for them to be on other platforms. All I hear is, so Sony's incompetent, and they can't work on multiple platforms, or, hire the help to work on multiple platforms to see if they can increase their market share on other platforms by, like, a factor of at least 10 to 15%. I mean, again, you're saying, like, oh, that doesn't seem like a lot of money. 10 to 15% of the PC market is a fuck ton. Like, it is a much bigger fuck ton than 10 to 15% of the console market when you're talking in terms of percentage to actual consumers and stuff.
The folks cheering for this deal have set the bar of excellence so low that saving money is all it takes to satisfy you. You don't need amazing next-gen titles, because you don't have any. You don't need tech innovation or better hardware, because you don't have any. The second largest company in the world seems to be unwilling to spend money on good games, which I guess they have that in common with their biggest fans.
What? They're unwilling to spend the money on good games. So all of Activision Blizzard makes bad games then? So what? You're saying that they're not willing to make money to make the first party games, right? See, here's the thing that a lot of people don't seem to get about the current gaming market. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that because the gaming market is constantly shifting and changing. See, the thing is that there's this one little thing that's being called a market shift. Guess what? This market shift is coming very fast. And a lot of people, like myself, have seen it coming for a while. Now, this market shift is very weird, very interesting, but also very stupid at the same time. In all honesty, the whole thing kind of reeks of it just being not the best, but also kind of meh. In all honesty, this market shift that Microsoft is pushing for in terms of inclusivity rather than exclusivity, and, trying to maintain some sort of standard or reset some of the standards for things moving forward, in all honesty, this is some of the growing pains of that, and people don't seem to recognize it, and when they don't, they get blindsided by it. So, yeah, they could have invested more into the hardware side of things and stuff like that, absolutely. But that's not the current trajectory of at least their market or their market target. Their market target seems to have shifted to a more inclusive and more altogether under one umbrella of gaming as a standard, across all platforms rather than gaming itself and in a bunch of different platforms. That's why they're doing a lot of this stuff. It's, again, some of the growing pains. At least that's what I can see.
Not wanting to buy games is basically the new Xbox consumer motto. The fact that gamers can't see pushing large developers, publishers, and game projects into a submodel, you can't see that that's value destructive, that is baffling to me. Ignoring the fact that Activision avoided Game Pass up to now should be a huge red flag. The loss for the FTC is a loss for consumers. Nobody can cite a single instance of consolidation at this level that has benefited consumers. You can't...
Steam. I mean, yeah, it's not exactly the same level, but consolidation of Steam, putting everything that you can onto one platform of a storefront, absolutely. Steam doesn't own a lot of the same games. They don't make a lot of the same games that they actually sell. But they are one of, if not the biggest platform on PC to be distributor of games. Microsoft can be the Steam of consoles. Or they can also do stuff on PC. You have to understand as well that people tried to move away from Steam. Like, really vehemently tried. Call of Duty avoided Steam for years. Years. Literal fucking years. And now they come crawling the fuck back. Epic themselves broke away some of their games, and now they have their own launcher. It's not the best launcher, and it's probably at least somewhat good in some ways. I don't have it installed, nor do I want it installed on my computer. But at the same time, Steam is basically unbeatable at this point. That is a consolidation to beneficent of consumers, because you have one launcher, you can use a lot of the same stuff. All of your games and libraries are on that one system and can be transferred save to save through their cloud wireless service. You don't have to reinstall specific things, and you don't have to make some standards for it. Steam set a lot of standards as well, including things like chat functionality and voice chat functionality. Again, they don't do it the best, but they set the standard at least. Same thing with, say, I don't know, controller stuff. When they made the Steam controller, guess what? Controller support for controller support for the PC kind of blossomed into this big, amazing industry now. You couldn't be able to play games on, say, like a Xbox 360 controller or something like that. There were ways to, but they had to go through third-party apps, and that all stuff sucked. Again, having things like controller support and stuff has become a standard based upon a lot of PC gaming tropes. Certainly, most definitely, most interestingly, consolidation is one of those things that can be not beneficial to specific parts, but in the gaming industry, consolidation can help. And again, things like the publishers of Activision, that helped a lot with Call of Duty in the short term, but in the long term, maybe not so much. Again, you can say all these things, and I can give you some more examples, but you won't fucking listen to me.
You can't demonstrate it historically. You can only demonstrate the opposite. It's always bad for consumers. Bad for choice, bad for price, bad for innovation and advancing things. Look at cell phones, look at internet service providers. It's all stalled out because we let them consolidate up. But this company Microsoft, that was caught lying to regulators, lying to the public on numerous occasions, they continue to be the ones that assure us this will be good for us. Apparently, according to a ruthless and dishonest company, this will be the one time in history a consolidated merger effort will benefit us, the consumer. Call me a skeptic. Call me a pony. Call me whatever juvenile name that you want to come up with. I'll continue to say that if Microsoft wins, consumers and gamers are the ones who will lose.
And that's your opinion. You're allowed to have your own opinion, but your opinion could possibly be wrong. I get that you're a skeptic. I get that you want to try to be Socrates, but you're not fucking Socrates. You are still stuck in that place, looking at that one actual wall of shadowy figures that seems to be run by the people who actually know a thing or two. You will not be released from this prison cell that you have put yourself in, and quite frankly, everyone else has kind of put themselves in. I'm not one to say that I'm not still probably stuck down in the cave itself, but I've at least seen some bits of the light and actually been able to move myself through and try to be and exit this cave. Now, again, I myself do have things that I will vehemently die on the hill for, but I've at least seen the sky, and seeing the sky is enough to at least, try to help you out. But again, I get that you're skeptical, and I'm a little skeptical as well. And I agree with you that sometimes, in this context, consolidation can be hurtful. But, in all honesty, let it ride out. And if you think that this is bad, you're welcome to your own opinion, but I don't know. And quite frankly, the way that you're coping, complaining, and seething about this makes me think that you fucking care. Like, a lot. In not a good way. In, like, a very bad, obsessive pony-like way. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a talking penguin on the internet, apparently. In any case, I think I'm done with this. I was going to read some more tweets and things like that, but I think I will save those for another video down the line. Now, these tweets will, of course, be pulled and stuff, and I might put a few more tweets in there, but as for right now, I'm fucking tired, and again, yeah. So again, thank you to Cyborg. I need to make sure that I get the name correct here. Yep. Astro Cyborg, thank you for the tweet. Thank you for all the clips. Again, link to your Twitter bio will be in the description down below. At least the @ will be down there. If I remember to. But in any case, my name is GamePenguin21. Be sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And do all the things with Patreon and stuff down in the description below. And yeah. Peace off.